Hey everybody, this is Craig from I Love Games, and today we're going to talk about Starfield and why I love Starfield. But first off, I'm going to say this. I tried to make this video a year ago. I talked a little bit about how much I liked Starfield when it was out. I never did a dedicated video to Starfield. I get this a lot from being on YouTube. Like, I've gotten this throughout the years, but I have never gotten it so much, including Last of Us 2, than I have for this game. Is when I say I like a game and someone tells me that my opinion is wrong. I have never had it said more to any game aside from this. And about a year ago, I started talking about Starfield on my Instagram. I don't remember the context. I don't remember if it was because, maybe it was because the DLC came out. And they also did a special pop-up planet for Doom. And I was telling people who were shitting all over this game that it wasn't a bad game, and immediately, well, you must not play Elder Scrolls, or you must be a casual, or you must not like Fallout. These are people on Instagram. They're not people on here, obviously. That wouldn't make much sense. I'll say something that's a hard pill to swallow, and it's true for 90% of the ears that are going to be listening to this. I have played more Fallout than you. I will continue to play more Fallout than you. I have played more Elder Scrolls, and will continue to play more Elder Scrolls than the average gamer does, because those are my games of choice. All right? What leads into that is, I've always maintained this. I've always said this on this channel, and I will stick to this until the day I die, until they actually change and do something different. But Fallout is just a reskinned Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls with a gun. That is Fallout. Obviously, there are some fundamental changes or differences between the two series. There's no VATS system in Elder Scrolls, but there's no dragon shouts either in Fallout. So they're made on the same goddamn engine. There's a reason why I'm saying this. It doesn't feel like this belongs in that universe, but it obviously absolutely does. So, Fallout is Elder Scrolls with a gun. This game is not Fallout in space. I've even said that on this channel while talking about this game 2 years ago when it came out, saying that this is Fallout in space, and I couldn't be any more incorrect. And this is why I love this game so much. I have streamed, for those of you who have been here, this is no news to you, but I've streamed hundreds of hours of Fallout, Fallout 4 specifically. I have the Fallout playthroughs to fall asleep to on here. I have a couple that is just a couple hours of me wandering around the wasteland. I understand when I stream Fallout why I used to get double-digit numbers, especially during COVID. For me, that's a pretty big deal. Down to 2 or 3 people if I stream Fallout now is because the way that I play it, it has got to be boring to watch. And the way that I play it is not the way that the game is fully intended to be played. And it's the same thing that I do with Elder Scrolls. And when I tell people about the amount of hours that I have in these games, and they're like I get that there's a lot to do, but those hours don't make sense, is I look at everything. I look at everything as if I'm going on a vacation while I'm playing these games, okay? I don't let anything slip by. I will go through the main story of a game, and then I'll do side missions that have achievements or trophies or some big item in the game attached to it. And then when I'm done with that, I'm not done with the game. I just explore. And the reason I brought up my Fallout ones is because I've played Fallout over 4 consoles, 2 generations and 4 consoles. I have a stupid amount of hundreds of hours for each one of them. Obviously, I have most of them on PlayStation. No, I probably have most on Xbox One, because the original release, I played that shit every day for like 2 years. But the way that I play it, and the part that would make it boring, is that I literally just go look around for things, and I'll stumble upon random shit. And I still, to this day, find shit that I haven't found in previous playthroughs, or it could have been something that was updated and I didn't fucking notice before. But I'm always finding something new, and it gives me the reason to go continue playing the games that way. Even though it's boring to other people, it's what I call mind sorting. I've done a video on here before It's for people who have severe depression and anxiety. It's an easy way to sort through your thoughts is when you're pretty much organizing a digital world. That's why Minecraft is so popular. That's why The Sims is so popular and all that shit. Customization has something to do with it. I'm all over the place, but I'm telling you what everything I'm saying for the first 5 minutes of this will tie together and why I love this game. But so mind sorting games, I have severe anxiety to the point that I'm fucking supposed to take medication for it. Any of the videos you see me smoking, and that's my medication for my anxiety. And I have social disorder. I have a hard time in groups of people, right? So these types of games where I'm isolated, I don't have to talk to people on a headset. I hate talking to people on a headset. I hate playing games where you have to communicate with other people via headset. I don't mind doing it when you're sitting next to the person. I fucking hate it when it's essentially over a phone because I hate phones. Anyways, these are my types of games. So I use these as sort of like anxiety suppressant. I obviously enjoy them, so I use them as my free game time, and that's why these get the biggest time sink out of any of the games that I play. And the reason that I love Starfield is that it is the most open Bethesda game while being the most restricted Bethesda game. When I initially played this game, I wouldn't have told you that I loved it within like the first 6 months. Because I played it a lot. I played more than any other person that I know in person. They all dropped the game. They did the main story. They had full intentions of starting a new game over, and they never did. And I'm trying to get people to get back into it now, and it's working. But I forgot what I was saying. Hold on. Oh yeah, so I wouldn't have told you within the first 6 months that I loved the game. I would have told you that I liked it, and that it was definitely a unique taste, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't get the same feeling as I was playing Elder Scrolls or Fallout. And it's because you have the freedom to explore more in this game than any other game. But you don't have the freedom of your character as much, and you don't have as much freedom and control over the game world as you do in the other games. Obviously, you make choices in here that affect the story, but I haven't made too many choices that have completely affected my game. The game flows a little bit different. So it's like when you play Fallout, if you side, with one faction, the other faction treats you like shit. That happens in this game, but the game's so big that it's not something that's super gonna affect you. Like I joined an assassin gang in here that everybody fucking hates. So people will talk shit to me. My companions will say shit to me about it with this particular character. But it doesn't have any bearing on the game. Anybody who played the game knows what suit I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Mantis suit. So while I can take the suit off and everyone talks to me like a piece of garbage who actually knows, most NPCs are pretty nonchalant with all their responses. If I'm wearing the Mantis one, every 1 out of 5 people will comment on how I'm the Mantis, which is essentially this game's Batman. Yo, come on. Don't do that. PlayStation stays open. Whatever. So, you'll hear the things of the effects that you make come back at you on occasion, but it's not the equivalent of how much your decisions will change the world in like my favorite example is Morrowind. Just based off the race of character you pick, the way that people treat you is completely different. And then with the choices you make with that character, the way that people talk to you is also different. It happens in Oblivion. You close an Oblivion gate, people in the town are super nice to you. It's an immediate effect. So you take that kind of personality away from the game, and this is why people probably don't like it, is this game doesn't have the personality that Fallout and Elder Scrolls has. I don't know if they meant to. These characters are pretty boring in this game. The story I could give a fuck about. I skip a lot of dialogue, except for when it comes to side missions and NPCs, because that's where this game gets its love for me. So your character's not as cool as, you know, the lone survivor or the wanderer or the courier or the dragonborn or the neverine or the fucking guy who actually assists, you know, the big hero of Oblivion. I really hated that, by the way. But anyways, you're just the guy, you're a miner. And obviously you have your part in the story. All these games has your, you know, most of the time regular ass character becoming the main hook in. But like I said, I don't care about the story of this. So, and with a lot of the choices you make not instantly coming back as like an instant reward or negative effect to a choice that you made, I'm kind of just a regular guy. And I really like that, because when you take the personality out, the reason that I do play these games is for the exploration. That's all this game is. This game is exploring and building. With the customization where I said sorting, this is why games like Minecraft are so popular, is because it's minimal effort and maximum creativity, right? So you're kind of outweighing your problems, or at least suppressing them. This is probably horrible therapeutic information, but I've shown off like my sanctuary and some of my outposts and stuff in Fallout. I don't like to do sanctuary. The place is too much. It's too big. But I do like creating my own little like niche part of the game that's mine. It's my character, my personality, whatever. So like in Fallout 4, it's the house in Diamond City, right? So in here, it's the ships. You know, my job is aerospace, so building a spaceship, cool. I mean, I don't do that for work, but I can look at the spaceship and be like, I know what the fuck it's supposed to have on it. I know what it should look like. I mean, they don't go into that crazy depth of the customization, but I know what the ship should look like. I know how it should run. I know what it needs to function. And then obviously in here, things are way more futuristic, but it's still the same base knowledge. So it's cool. I can throw together a ship very quickly. I look at blueprints all day with this shit. Jeff Bezos stuff. So I don't support or like work for that man. I'm third party. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now, because I was like, I don't want to associate myself with that like at some kind of a... Regardless, I know how to make a ship very quickly. The interior is very restricted of what you can do. It's a little bit better now because, you know, they shovel that creation shit in your face to try and get you to pay more money. I ain't doing any of that. But there's a lot more freedom with the design of the interior of your ships and your outposts. You can still make outposts like you could in Fallout. I've only done one, and it's, no, I've done two. And they're just little houses that I can stop at. I don't even know what the fuck they are anymore because there's so much to do in here, which we'll get into in the next part. But, like, I have the Mantis ship only because I was doing some, I had to do some speedy starfighting, and my big ship is not equipped for that. I have some huge starliners, right? I'm very much into the yacht. P. Diddy, wait, not that guy either. Don't want to be associated with that guy. I just tried to do It's Always Sunny quote that was super dated and would have made me look like I was trying to get people baby oiled up on a yacht. I like the expensive, luxurious yachts. And in this, it would be giant starliners where you can create a bunch of rooms. And I basically have a flying fortress. I have a Millennium Falcon. And then I have this Guardians of the Galaxy Starfighter. I've built 8 ships in here. That's kind of like, I've specifically had game sessions in here where the only thing I've done is like, cool, I went around, I got a shit ton of money, I got a bunch of resources, let's build some stuff. I'm getting my piloting perks up. All the piloting perks are, that's a little tedious, but that's how you get to unlock your shit. It's no different from Fallout level up screen. It's no different from Elder Scrolls Fallout's fucking Christ. The Elder Scrolls power up screens or level up screens. But if you want to do building, like, it's a whole separate thing that you didn't have to deal with in Fallout or Elder Scrolls. You need to get certain pilot licenses. You need to level up your piloting by fulfilling prerequisites and then dumping one of your skill points. So I can understand why people didn't like this game. Is that you need to put in maximum time, I think, to really enjoy it. But I can also understand why this isn't everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody wants to get lost in a game for 5 hours at a time. Not everyone has the time to do that with games. The world's weird right now, and people got to work as much as they can, right? Just to be able to eat some fucking food. So no, I understand people don't want to sit down for 5 hours at a time and feel like they accomplished nothing. But for people like me, I felt like I accomplished everything. I explored a huge chunk of the map. I knocked out a bunch of side missions. I either helped or hindered other people. And as far as the main plot goes, you don't have to move it. I didn't move the main plot line along until about a year ago because I didn't do shit and wasn't interested in it. And then I was like, hey, I should get moving because there's a new game plus available for this. Now, the map. So I take breaks from this game. And then when I come back and I fucking play it hard. I'm talking about 50 to 100 hours on it. And then I'm like, I'll take a break for a little while. And then I come back to it. And this is one of those games that I can leave for a really long time. And all I have to do is look at what my starship looks like, or my spaceship. And I know exactly what type of person I was being, or exactly what path I was taking. If I have my Guardians of the Galaxy jet or the Mantis, I modified the Mantis. That's why the inside doesn't look the same. Any ship they gave me for free, I've gutted and redone because I don't like. I'm big on interior design. I don't like it, but if I'm in that one, be like, oh, I was trying to up my piloting shit. So obviously I was going out and I was taking down some Crimson Fleet or whatever, trying to just spaceship fights. If I come back and I'm on one of my luxury liners, I'm preparing for something, right? I'm in there, I have all my benches in there, I'm upgrading weapons, I'm doing whatever. I'm preparing to go on either not come back to my spaceship for a long time, we're gonna explore a whole planet, I got a big mission to do, stuff like that. And then my Explorer, I have 2 Explorer jets that I alternate because one's designed cool and the other one's designed for functionality, and it doesn't look as cool. But like cargo freighters, if I was just going around raiding places, mining, whatever, I have fun with that stuff. And at like I said, at any point I can come back and know exactly what I was doing, and that's rare in a game that you can leave for 6 months and then come back and go, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. And I can do that with Fallout, judging by how my character's dressed. And Elder Scrolls, it's hard to tell because I always play Khajiit and they're rude. Or Dunmer. Dark Elf. But yeah, this for me, this goes along the same lengths of those games as much as I like them, because as I was saying before I cut myself off, every time I come back to this game after taking large gaps, it looks like the fucking universe is expanded and there's more planets that are now ready. I haven't been there yet. I haven't been to a few systems yet. I say planets, but they're actually solar systems. I haven't been to half of what's on the map yet. I haven't even done the DLC, and I have hundreds of hours in this game. I don't care about the main story, so I don't have to feel like I gotta rush. I don't feel like I have to rush to get the rest of the planets done. I still have so much exploring, even on the systems that I've explored, that say explored. I know I missed stuff on it because I've gone back to wrap up some missions from the beginning of the game that I've just let hang, some of the side missions or side activities, and I'll go back and find a weapon that I missed, even though it says I explored the area. And it'll be like a badass legendary. I just found a shotgun that I ended up, it's in my hand, actually. Oh no, that was an old mission. I had to kill a bounty and I took his pistol, and the pistol is really badass. It's a 6-shooter. But I have a shotgun that I also keep on this character, and it's like a semi-automatic, heavy impact. These fucking people go flying. I have a bunch of awesome videos about it. That's another one. I go in and I modify all my weapons. I rename them, unless they earn the respect as soon as I pull the trigger the first time, where I'm like, we're not touching this gun at all. It's got to stay the way it is. But I name my weapons based on how I'm gonna go out with them, right? So I have splatter ones, which means I'm gonna go on a violent killing spree. So it'll be like splatter shotgun, splatter pistol, splatter rifle. Then I'll have like crowd control ones. for if I'm trying to be diplomatic, but I need to put somebody down quick with as minimal collateral damage as possible. And then I set all this stuff up, and then I don't go do any of it. But I will one day. But I'll be prepared. And that's the point of why I love this game so much, is that I will go in and I'll do 50 hours of this game, and I'll spend the last 10 hours prepping myself for the next time I come in the game, and then leaving myself somewhere purposely where I can look around and go, all right, I know what I was doing. The last time I played this game was probably about 6 months ago. 4 months. I think it was 4 months. 4 months ago. And I'm sitting at almost 9 days of playtime. So, what? It's 200 something hours. And I'm trying to do the math while talking in my head, and I don't want to, but it's not stopping. So I fucking ruined what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So I haven't played this game for like 4 months. And I can tell that at least the last 10 hours I played, I prepped myself to come back and not be lost. So I came back, I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm not talking like going to the mission log and see what you were doing. I'm talking about just to drop in and get the feel of, all right, I'm not lost, I know what to do. I had Andrea the last time I came in, and I had just finished every mission you could do with her character. And I had her and I had Sarah sitting in the same ship is when I stopped playing. So when I came back, I took Sarah with me, and this run I did all the companion missions you can do with her, and then I started to take her because their personalities are different on the missions that Andrea wouldn't have liked. So I helped build up my character stuff and I knew I set myself up like that. And I wanted to do this video before I start any new games, because once I start a new game is when this one will wind down. Right, and then it'll be like another 4 to 6 months before I jump back into it. Now that I did all the stuff with Sarah, I'm trying to get everything on the pilot skill screen and make my ultimate ship. And once I do that, I'm probably not going to make the ship this time. I'm just going to get all the shit set up for it, and then I'll leave my character at the Star Yard. and then my next time I play, I'll end up building the ship that I have been wanting since I started the game. So that's one unique thing that I have with this series that I don't have with Fallout, and I don't have with Elder Scrolls, and that's what separates those from me just picking one over the other when it comes to Fallout or Elder Scrolls, since I feel so strongly that it's Fallout with a gun. I mean, it's Elder Scrolls with a gun. It has a distinct charm between the two that I use one for one. One, I go on an adventure and I feel like a badass, and the other one, I just get to do the shit in society that you can't go do. You can't go pistol whip somebody at a noodle stand because they're making you angry. You can't even have the pistol out to pistol whip someone if they make you angry, but you can go do that in Fallout, right? So either how I'm feeling that day, I'm gonna go around and help people, or I'm gonna go around and be a monster, right? And I love the aesthetic, so it helps fit that character. It's just goofy enough and just not realistic enough that you don't feel like you got a fucking problem, and you can essentially live a second life in there. It's all when we were kids playing with our action figures. That's all these games are. And this one for me is that I enjoy my time with it, and I can encapsulate that time and not feel like I'm just dropping the game. And like I said, can prep myself to come back and then just pick it up where I left it off. That's a uniqueness that not a lot of games have in the adventure genre, because 99% of the time when I leave a game and I go back, if I'm like more than 25% of the way through the game, I got to restart. I mean, if I'm less than 25%, I have to restart because I don't know. RPGs are the worst. If I start an RPG and I stop it halfway through, I'm never gonna finish that fucking RPG because I'm not gonna restart it, and I don't want to continue playing something that I just lost the feel for and I don't fully remember. And these games have the uniqueness where I can always do that. The only other games is like if I'm rusty in a fighting game, it takes 2 or 3 matches, but that's a different kind of beast. Those are committed to your muscle memory. It's what you play it for, or that's why you're good at it. But yeah, so Starfield is the game that I personally feel I'm going to be going back to for a long time. I know for a fact I'm going to be going back to for a long time. And what happened was I thought Fallout Anniversary Edition was coming to Switch 2 the same day as everything else, and it's not. It doesn't come out till next year. So I cleared my game palette to restart Fallout 4 on Switch 2, and when it didn't drop, I took time off, by the way. When it didn't drop, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna reinstall Starfield. And I was willing to pay for the DLC, and that's what I was gonna birthday treat myself. And then I open up the map, and without the DLC, I see everything that I haven't done yet, and I'm like, this is perfect. Free 99. Not really, because I've already paid for it, but yeah, I have so much to do, and I essentially have an entire another game to play on top of this, and it doesn't get boring for me. That's the one equivalent. I feel that it's similar. When you play it, you know who made it. But I think it's because this is on a different engine, and you can't just go willy-nilly. You can pick a bunch of garbage, you can pick it up, but almost everything in here serves some kind of purpose. So it's really slimmed down to the amount of shit you can take. And the engine's wonky, and it's still, like, you can tell it's a better looking engine, but it has, like, I have so many fucking clips that I really just need to clip them together and just make an entire Bethesda reel. I have people just disappearing, stretching. I had a guy I shot him, and his legs went into the trash can, and he was breakdancing. His dead corpse was breakdancing. I got that one yesterday. I'm going to put that up in shorts, actually, right after this video goes up. But, yeah. I'm going to ramble if I keep talking, and it's been almost a half hour, but I truly love this game. Don't come on here and be like, I don't like it. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. That's not an argument. You can say you don't like it, provide a reason, and then I'll ignore you. Thank you guys for watching.